I should really consider working in the
Yeah.
business office. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, did you guys turn in those forms or receipts today?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to get back to watching Guiding Light or some other stuff. Probably Drew Carey and The Price is Right's on right now. That's good. I'm going to have a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
This week on the podcast, we have some fun and go back in time to advise our college selves about some career paths we'd encourage them to take. You know all those dudes at the World Cup, with Argentina, Messi's carrying that thing around for a week. So you're hanging around Messi, and you're the World Cup guy. You're watching the cup. Take a couple sips out of it with Messi. Some advice may be absurd. Some may be futuristic. Either way, sit back and hop in the time machine with us as we embark on the inaugural, if we knew then what we know now, sports career draft. But as far as me, manning a ticket office, dude, I'd probably be fired in, 48 hours. Because I would say some shit that people would not want to hear.
It would be authentic, though.
I would be authentic,
but
I would be shown the door quick. This is the true story of two washed-up sports guys who chased the dream. Private flights, championship rings, running sideline to sideline on per diem and adrenaline.
We gave our 20s and our 30s to the industry, pulled off miracles that were never in the job description. In return, low pay, long hours, and we still got cut from the team.
This is about what really happens behind the badge. The burnout, the bad bosses, the dream job that didn't love you back, but also the lifelong friendships, the chaos, the holy shit stories you couldn't make up. And somehow, despite everything, you'd still do parts of it all over again.
This is one for the ones who lived it, loved it, hated it, and still kind of miss it. For everyone who's ever asked, how in the hell did we survive that? We're two former sports insiders with more than 40 years of experience and more than enough scars to make fun of it all.
And just enough trauma to start a podcast instead of going to therapy.
I'm Brandon Barca.
And I'm Andy Boggs.
And this is No Longer Credentialed. We once had access, now we have opinions.
Podcast. You get it. What if you could go back in time and change your career in sports? Would you take the same path or do it differently? Since it's fantasy football season, we're putting that question into action with our own unserious draft. But instead of players, we're picking the jobs we'd chase if we were starting out today. From cushier gigs to roles with long-term growth, and even ones that could set you up for life after sports, we're redrafting our careers to fit today's landscape. If it were day one again and we were just college students looking for direction, which path would we take knowing what we know now? That's right. It's time for the first ever sports career redraft.
I'm excited about this segment, Boggs. We can go so many different directions with this. I mean, we could draft the easiest jobs, the cushiest jobs that we'd want in sports to have the best work-life balance. We could pick the jobs that we think we would hate the most, so we would leave the industry sooner and go on to other things.
It's a good strategy.
We could find the ones that set us up for the most long-term success. And I don't know, did you have a strategy going into this exercise without giving away anything before the draft?
Yeah, I have 3 buckets. I have buckets that I think would be really fun, like really fun gigs, then more practical jobs, and then easy jobs. I preface a couple of these by basically telling, young Boggs, college Boggs, get out after before you're 30. You know what I mean? Just get out. Take the skills, take your lumps, take your lessons, and move on.
Man, I can't wait to hear this. I'm sure there are going to be some stray bullets going out there to some of these jobs. Again, this is all very unserious and just having some fun with some things. So please don't take this personally. But tell me a little bit more about College Boggsy. Tell me about you hitting the books every night to become something, exploring all of your hopes and dreams. And how did you either discover or get interested in this career field in college.
Well, what's so funny, man, is I wanted to be a play-by-play person, play-by-play guy. And so I worked for the campus radio station. Shout out V89 at Florida State. And like I got to host call-in shows and things like that. I quickly learned that was just not going to be a good career path for me. I think I would have been okay at it, but no one was really there to kind of show me the ins and outs. Like working with someone, a play-by-play guy who's a pro, how much prep goes into their job. And I didn't do any prep. I was just like, I'm just going to show up with a microphone and we'll just talk. And that's just not the way it works. And so I graduated, had no idea what I wanted to do, and got lined up with a graduate assistant position in sports information and just kind of went from there and then loved it.
Wow. Yeah, I remember, gosh, I was at Tennessee and maybe after my sophomore year, and I think it was a business major. And I remember someone late spring, we were looking at the catalogs to look at classes and stuff like that. And somebody else on our floor in Hess Hall was like, mentioned something about a sport management program. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's actually classes. It's like, no, there's a degree. And I was like, you mean I can get paid to work in sports? And so I looked into it. I remember going down to whatever it's called, health and education office, wherever the sport management was out of, and then talking to one of the professors there who did practicum work just to learn more about it. And the first thing they told me was, you need to do field work. So I remember I stuck around that summer on campus and I was a swabby for the rec center. And while everybody was out getting their suntans and listening to music and having fun with their friends at the pool, I was over, I guess, sort of the maintenance of the facility. But I always had the mentality of the old quote, if you're going to be a street sweeper, then be the best damn street sweeper you can be. So I put so much passion and effort into it that after 3 months in that gig, I landed a role with intramurals within the rec center.
Yeah.
And
were you reffing?
Well, I did a little bit of that on the side. You want to talk about one of the worst jobs in sports as a college student? Try being a ref of intramurals, man. I remember frats wanting to kick my ass after a flag football game. And I loved it, man. I played into it with hoops and everything else. I loved it. So I did that. And sometimes I would have the other job where you were coordinating the refs and stuff. And so you just have to kind of sit out there and hand out equipment like the pennies or jerseys and all of those things for the events. And so I thought like I was like on cloud nine. I was like, man, I moved up from being a swabby to working in intramurals, and that led to a bunch of other stuff. And 2 degrees later at Tennessee in sport management. And here we are today, Boggs, living the dream.
That's right. Living the dream. So is that where you saw the waterproof recliner for the first time?
I saw a lot of things that I've tried to block out over the years through lots of extensive therapy, but man, it was great, man. I had some awesome mentors. I remember the first job I ever saw was sports, and I was like, I want to do that. But at the timeouts, it'd be like all these college-age students that would run onto the floor and shoot T-shirts to the crowd and do fun promotions during the timeouts. And I was like, that's awesome, from the marketing side of things. I want to do something like that. And so then I just started exploring all of these different things that I just, I think as a fan or someone that followed sports since I was a little kid, is like, I just never paid attention to any of those things being like actual jobs or internships or career opportunities. It's like when you go to the game and you're like, oh, the PA announcer's reading something right now because it's part of their script. Or this video is playing at a timeout because it's a sponsorship, or, all of these things that sometimes you just don't even think about as a fan. And as I explored it more, I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do inside a department like that. And a lot of places just welcome you because you're free. They're looking for free labor anywhere they can get it. I didn't even think about working in athletics when I was an undergrad, and I should have, because you would meet so many different people. But it never really clicked until I got into grad school. Really wild.
We're happy to have you today, Boggs.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to hearing some of the directions you'd possibly go if you could redraft your sports career.
Yeah.
Hey, let's set this up. Let's do 3 rounds.
Okay.
We're each going to draft something, go back and forth. And once something's drafted, we'll just say it's off the table. And I had a difficult time. I really did, because there's
Mm-hmm.
just so many different things that I'd want to do, or maybe I thought were easy to do, like we said before.
Yeah.
So
You want me to start?
you go first. I'm
Okay.
gonna give you first draft pick.
Okay. I'm gonna dip into my practical bucket and go for corporate sales.
Oh,
Just from a practical point of view, getting into corporate sales can teach you so many things while also developing relationships with the movers and shakers in your community who are successful. One, you learn the art of sales. Two, results are quantifiable on your resume. And three, the relationships you build could lead to other opportunities with those successful businesses you work with. But I will say, young Boggs, get out quick. Get out quick before you're 30. Work for a few years, plan how you'll escape. And if you can sell ads for a 2-10 football program, you can sell pretty much anything. And the perks in this job can be pretty great too if you have the right partners. Pressure here is ramped up because you're owned by a corporation, so you have to hit your number. But those are valuable skills to learn. So I'm dipping into the practical bucket, and I'm going for corporate sales because you can learn a lot and get to know a lot of people with money.
I never imagined young Boggsy working on a car lot, selling cars,
No.
pitching people, to buy something, buy products. And I don't know, this kind of sounds like you really wanted to go corporate. I could see you dressing up in a tie and in a coat every day. And as an SID in comms, you were just wearing travel sweats all the time.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you really want
Very
to kind of
comfy.
clean up your career now looking back.
Well, I think the cool thing about that is you would learn so much. And plus, I feel like if it was something I really believed in, I could probably be a pretty good salesperson. So if I really liked my boss and I really liked the football team I was dealing with or basketball team or whatever, I think it may be pretty fun. I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine once you do it 2 or 3 times to start, then you kind of get the feel for it, and it's like riding a bike and you're just trying to chase leads and find people that would listen to you. So I'm not saying I'd be great at it, but I think if I had something that I actually believed in, I think it would be a lot easier of a sell for me to do that.
So are you looking at selling more of the assets or the inventory
Yeah.
for the events? Or are you looking more at like tickets and group sales, that type
No,
of
no,
sales?
hell no. No tickets. No tickets. Unless they're like corporate suites or something. I'm not
You don't
doing
believe
that.
in those?
Listen, those people that sell tickets, they're incredible.
They're saints.
They're so good at their jobs, but that's just not something I could. I'd rather sell you a billboard at the gym or a billboard at the football stadium or an ad in the game program, or I don't even know if they do those anymore. Things like that. But as far as me like manning a ticket office, dude, I'd probably be fired in like 48 hours. Because I would say some shit that people would not want to hear.
It would be authentic, though.
I would be authentic,
So,
but I would be shown the door quick.
so I love where you're going with this, and I agree. I think there's something to it if it's a product you believe in, and working with clients or local companies or even national companies. How would you feel about the nurturing of the client side of it?
I mean, I think it'd be. I mean, I dealt with some clients that weren't the best. I think it's just part of the job. I mean, you just have to do it, and some you'll really, really hit it off with. Some you probably won't, but some you may make friends for the rest of your life. I don't know. Or they can help you buy a car, or they can get you a hotel room. To me, it would just be about the relationships there and building them, and some are great, some are not, but you kind of know that going into it.
You would love whining and dining clients on road trips when you kind of have to escort them all around. I could see you making out the dinner itinerary, what to do on the trips the next morning before the game. It sounds like it's right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm really good at hosting people, but I think that'd be okay. You'd basically be showing these people something they'll never experience ever again, and meet the coach and meet the players and have pregame meal with the team or breakfast with the team, or whatever. I mean, that's kind of cool to show off. All right, what's your number 1 draft pick?
This one's not going to shock you. I kept going back to this in my mind, and I think I would be a video producer.
Hmm.
And I've done all access features, and I've dabbled in a lot of video, dabbled in a lot of social, dabbled in a lot of content, but I just think there's so many benefits from becoming an expert in that field. And
Yeah.
it's definitely not something I'm an expert in as far as the production part of it. But just being trained, from the beginning on all of those things, I think would just be so valuable. It's just my favorite form of storytelling, first of all. And sports obviously offers you all of these opportunities to tell all of these really great stories, when you're talking about fans or players or even some of your Olympic sports. And I don't know, there's just so much cool stuff that resonates with fans across the board. You have the ability to meet everybody in the department. I mean, it's kind of twofold. I mean, that's a great part is everybody knows you because you're out and about, but also everybody knows you because there's an ungodly amount of requests that come your way. So that part's not great. You get to travel, you get to do cool stuff, you get to go to practices and get to know the athletes and the players and the coaching staff. And again, everything that just resonates with what that team means to the community, what it means to everybody that works there. And I don't know, just some really cool, unique experiences. Then after you build this skill set, maybe after 5 to 10 years, you get the hell out. Maybe you just get tired of all the BS requests. You have such a very specific skill set that's very in need in 2025. Everybody wants video, whether you're shopping it to the local dentist, something for them, or real estate. Everybody needs video. I think there could be some really cool opportunities to create your own business. Everything across the board about it, the storytelling, the experience, the travel, I just love documenting things. I'm a storyteller at heart. And to me, video's the format. Would I love writing long profiles and books and all that? Yes. But unfortunately, website clicks isn't what it used to be. And so I'm trying to keep some of that in perspective as well.
So you would go eventually you'd want to end up making documentaries or something.
Dream World, I would be show running or coming up with ideas for
Be in Hollywood.
Netflix shows or working on productions and just things that emphasize storytelling that have the largest magnitude and the largest reach. And I've always been fascinated with TV shows and movies and production and docs. And, you can look at stuff on HBO or you can look at stuff on Netflix or you can look at stuff that's just YouTube related. There are just so many options today to do those things. And
there really are.
Looking back, I remember growing up, my brothers and I we'd sit around a house in middle school. My dad had a super VHS camera. A lot of young kids are going to have no idea. Not a VHS camera, but a super VHS camera. And thank God we didn't have YouTube back then because some of those videos did not need to be seen publicly. But we were essentially like content creators and we would write and produce our own like SNL type sketches or Kids in the Hall. We were kind of like our own comedy troupe. And it was something we did to be very creative. And I love that muscle with it all. And I've just always had a love and passion for it. I would have just never thought of that angle. The video producer thing wasn't a thing when I first came up. Social media didn't exist. Content creation wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It was non-existent other than unless you had a 30-minute TV show that you were shooting every week. That's about it.
What about game production? Would that have interested you at all? Like being a producer that did live games and you would go to an NFL city and do an NFL game.
This is before we knew each other. My background was in game presentation and production. I started out working in the control room and setting up the marketing of promotions and entertainment and scripting everything that would happen at the events and working with our freelancers, like a freelance director and producer. And we had probably a staff of 10 or 15 people that would have to put on production for, back then it would be the video board. But now as you're seeing with some of these college teams is that production has been transformed into an actual TV studio, so they can
doing it all.
They can do it all. Not only the in-game stuff, but the stuff they're pushing out on the ESPN Pluses and all of the SEC networks and all those things. I love that element. What I found was, I did game presentation for 3 years. It can hit all levels of stress when you're production. If anybody out there's ever been in a TV truck during a broadcast, I don't know how it is today, but man, those things are fiery. And back in the day, there was nothing off limits. You'd get cursed out, yelled at.
Yeah, you had to get. It was a live show, man. It's a live show.
There were a lot of egos, a lot of power, and shit would happen, and you'd have to just wipe it away from your brain because it was just part of how it was. And
Yeah.
I just love the ride of it. I
Mhm.
just love the energy, and you never knew any moment like what was going to happen through the good or the bad. And that's what I liked
Yeah.
about in-game production as well. I'm like, man, I can bring the fans to their feet at this moment to cheer on the
Mhm.
team through this
Yeah.
15-second bumper as the team's coming back on the floor and a
Yeah.
pivotal possession at the end of a basketball game. But to me, in any of this, it was storytelling, is I just wanted a reaction. I wanted fans to feel something. And so I love that part. I like what you're saying about production, TV production, broadcast. I could have definitely ended up in that route if I'd had more training starting out.
Think about the opportunities for a college kid right now if they wanted to just be behind a camera or be around a camera. Think about all the different opportunities. I mean, back when we were in college, like if you wanted to be a production assistant, you had to live in New York or you had to live in LA. Now, if you're around a college campus, I mean, you could go right now to a college campus and volunteer to work in a TV production. They would take you in a heartbeat. There's so many opportunities. I mean, every school's doing their own production now, probably multiple productions. And so you have all this experience, and then you could probably live on a college campus. I mean, these things aren't going anywhere. If anything, they're going to get more in depth. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I think the market is there to make a really good career out of it. You probably get paid pretty good too.
And the thing about it too is you have the ability with the technology and the equipment that's out there today. The editing tools and the camera equipment and all of those things are so accessible, and they're a lot more affordable to where you can build your own reels and production, and you can set up your own, heck, you can do a podcast. And if you want to produce your own TV show on YouTube, you can, even if 5 people are watching, it doesn't matter. And so you can actually get the reps and build your portfolio to set you up to get in those positions when you're in college. I mean, there's so many more opportunities today. That's just a really cool thing. It means there's a lot more competition. You got to step up your game. There's a lot more expectations, but you have the ability to do just about anything if you put your mind to it. Man, I sound like a high school counselor or something.
I know, right? If you're in college now, and you want to be creative, there are so many opportunities to do it, and you can do it on your own. It's really, really crazy.
Sponsored by. Today's episode is sponsored by the Quiet Quits Retirement Home. A few weeks into college football season, and as the team's social media manager, you realize your school did not spend enough on NIL. Your team's getting cooked on and off the field. Engagement's through the roof, though, because nothing fuels comments like an angry fan mob. At the Quiet Quits Retirement Home, admins can finally log out. Forget those content calendars. Forget the preseason strategy. Here, the only schedule is bingo at 6, Jell-O pudding pops at 8, and lights out by 9. Boggs likes that schedule.
Sign me up.
Your days are filled with water aerobics, crafts time, and the calming joy of sorting your daily meds. Doesn't that just sound so soothing?
Sounds so great.
So relax, everybody. Nobody even cared about your graphics anyway. And now, neither do you. And hey, just remember, basketball season's right around the corner. That's
Barca.
the Quiet Quits Retirement Home.
Barca, you're speaking my language. No Longer Credentialed is also brought to you by the Sweatshop TI-81 calculator. Add up all those hours you desperately believe are moving you up the ladder. Now divide that foolish passion by your salary. You won't believe what you're actually making per hour. And no, that's not a typo. The decimal really did move that many places to the left. Still not horrified? Try our newest product, the Dream Crusher 3000. Built to snap you out of your trance and finally ask yourself, was it all really worth it?
Was it, Boggs?
I don't know. That Dream Crusher, it hurts.
All All right, Boggs, you're up for pick 2, and you haven't gone heel or rogue yet, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel you got something in you.
So I'm going with ease this time. If I want to be in a college environment in an athletic department and just have an easy job where I'm not working events, it's 9 to 5, I'm going to go with a life skills person. This one you should look at. College Boggs should look at a life skills person. It can be rewarding finding your athletes a career path and getting them engaged in the community. But again, you don't have to be at games. For the most part, it's 9 to 5. Job security is normally pretty good, and you can fly under the radar at most places. So that's probably going to our life skills people that are listening or watching this podcast, which probably there's not any. But if there are, I'm going to have to go there. Like, I think you have an easy job. I really do. I love the people that I've worked with in that area. But, again, you're not busting your hump until midnight every night. If you want to come to games, you're just coming to watch with your family. Life skills for me, for College Boggs, because, I'm so good with the community. I'd be so good in the community with our kids.
It sounds to me like this is all about CTC, cut the check. Boggs wants to get paid,
100%.
Wants to have a normal life.
100%.
Sitting out here.
Work-life balance. Are you serious? Like, it's incredible. It'd be great.
Just annihilating our life skills people.
They do important stuff, but they don't have to work late. They just don't. They don't have to work weekends. They have to maybe every once in a while, but not a lot.
How much actual work do you think they're doing each week?
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm poking the bear right now.
You're probably find enough things to do 8 to 5. With a 2-hour workout at lunch, and maybe a lunch on top of that lunch. Well, come in late every once in a while.
You'd far exceed that because you were in the office at like 6:37. So you'd be a high achiever. You'd move up that ladder pretty quickly.
I would. I'd be a really high achieving life skills person. The people that do it, they do a good job, and it's something they're really passionate about. And I'm really happy that they're in that position and they found one of those jobs. But at the end of the day, it's easy.
It sounds like you want a gig where you just give no shits about it, really. You just want to...
Well, I told you my buckets. My buckets were practical, easy, and fun.
Yep.
This is my easy bucket.
But would you give shits about it?
My personality, probably no.
What kind of life skills do you think you would be
I would teach
offering to these student athletes?
That is a really great question. Shit, I need help with my life skills. Maybe they would just help me with my life skills. I don't know what I would help them with, dude. I really don't. I'm not exactly sure what this all means, this whole life skills thing. So
Boggs showing up to work every day. It's like, what do you have on your agenda today, Boggs? I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Do I teach him to balance a checkbook or work their... open a checking account?
Make sure you brush your teeth.
What do I do?
Brush your teeth twice a day.
Brush my teeth.
Don't forget to floss.
Make sure you floss and use a water pick.
I don't know. There's some cool programs, man. That's helping them
get
summer jobs.
And internships and stuff. It's great.
Don't they do community work too, or no? Or is that completely different?
They do community work. Yeah. So they'll arrange for our athletes to go read to kids, or remember they would do that Christmas party every year. That was cool. And they would have to organize all that.
You like parties? So, that's good.
I do like parties.
So you'd be at the Boys and Girls Club, and they'd be like, "Hey, Boggs, do you want to help read to the kids right now?" You go, "Nah, I'm good. I've got 10 more minutes on the clock."
I'm checking out at 5. So there's my ease bucket, and I'm gonna, if I get hate mail, I'm gonna direct it to you, Barca. But that's my deal right there. Is I would life skills. I throw in my other one that was in the ease bucket. I don't want to go over, but the business office.
Dude, I had this on my later list.
8 to 5.
I had it.
You're basically dealing with coaches who can't fill out forms right, which that's all different now because there's software. Oh, you forgot to do this, or you forgot to do that, and da 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 da. So, like, I mean, I guess you have the petty cash you got to hold. Maybe they'll have a rental car. You could go get a rental car from them, or.
I had that.
So,
I had that on.
Did you have it?
Easiest jobs of like.
Yeah.
I should really consider working in the
Yeah.
business office. I was like, hey, did you guys turn in those forms or receipts today?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna get back to watching Guiding Light or some other stuff. Probably Drew Carey and The Price is Right's on right now. That's good. I'm gonna have a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
You didn't tape that receipt right onto that piece of paper.
Hey, I don't deal with. I don't deal with
hate
that.
us.
I don't deal with that. You should probably talk to the accountant in here.
Yeah. That's not something let me get back to my TV
Business
show.
office taking strays. Gosh,
Yeah,
you know what? I know this
strays.
isn't going to be on your list either, so I hope I'm not burning it. If it is, then just
Yeah.
let me know. It's the same thing with like legal. Which legal can come into play for some very important things, but then there's some other stuff. It's like legal's just here basically to sit in the office and tell us what we can't do on every request that we ask. Granted, there are some very important things that would come up from time to time that needed that counsel, but did you really need that full-time person on staff? I guess there's a reason for it. But most of the time I'm just thinking about, like, I don't even know what they're doing today. I barely even see them around the office.
I know.
But again, I guess it's good to have somebody on regularly because you never know when stuff's going to hit the fan.
Yeah. All right, so what's your second? What's on your draft?
All right. I don't have them bucketed like you, but you know me, like, I care about my job and I care about what I do, and I'm trying to find things I'm passionate about if I'm going to spend my time on things. So I'm not going to call it a day like, hey, look, Boggs, we looked at Vacation Boggs in Hawaii, drinking fruity drinks and just sitting there in the straw hat and in a lounge chair and enjoying life. Maybe I'm not doing this practice that we're doing right now right, because I'm not finding things that are going to make me enjoy life better. I'm still going after that passion of what I do. And so in this one, it's about having a vision. And to quote Seth Rollins, is not my favorite wrestler, but he always says, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. And you know what? After we talked earlier about me working a game presentation, I did that for 3 years. And then I saw this wave of the future. It was called websites. I knew nothing about websites. I didn't know I didn't know what a URL was, like how to do like coding and any of that stuff. And trained myself how to do it because I saw the future going to the internet and the web. And I was like, I gotta be part of this. This is the future. And from there, we launched social channels a couple years later, probably in 07, 08, 09. And I saw like, this just community building and daily interaction with fans and putting out news and stories instantly on people's phones is like, that's the future. You know what the next thing of the future is, Boggs? You're going to know. What do you think it is?
When it comes to digital, I have no idea.
Oh, my friend. This position is going to be popping up everywhere in the next 10 years. College sports, maybe pro sports, is going to be slow to adapt to this, like they are in everything in the business world. Director of AI.
Ooh, that would be really fun. Good one.
There you go.
But that's a really good idea. That's a really, really good idea.
Every team or staff should have that position right now. And
and
it's a no-brainer. And again, it is a resource and a tool that can make your operation way more efficient.
Yeah.
And that's just across the board. That could be with the football team operations. It could be with your comms and marketing staff.
Everything.
And I don't necessarily look at it as a job replacement. I just look at it as a tool that can make us more efficient so we can spend the most amount of time on the most important things. And, you just think about building a brain. Hey, look, you're a stats guy. You're an SID, trained SID at heart. Can you imagine like some of the companies out there right now building a brain that basically you could ask it anything about the history of the team you're working at any specific moment?
Yes. Hey, dude, I think this is kind of an aside. I've been thinking a lot about this. I think people are like, AI is going to take these jobs. Now it will, but it's also going to generate a lot of jobs because people like the NFL, people like Walmart, they're already doing this. Lowe's, Home Depot, they're building their own AI models. They don't want to share it with everybody. So everybody's building their own AI models. That takes work. Now, granted, maybe in 10 years, maybe there's not as many jobs because these things are so proficient and so smart that you don't need people running them. But in the meantime, to build them, you got to have them. And dude, it's a perfect job because everybody's going to have this. Like, can you imagine, like, if you worked at Oregon and you're like, okay, and everything's been uploaded to it. I need 3 videos in 16:9 format of, what's your duck's name? Puddles.
The Oregon Duck.
Yeah. I need 6, and I want him running onto the field. Bang.
Hey,
I want him with his headgear off.
That's what I was about to say. That's already happened.
I need those.
AI. You don't need AI.
I need
for
those. That's such a great position, man. I think it's going to be prevalent everywhere. It's going to be. I think there's going to be chat GPTs for every corporation and every school system and like my wife's school system will have chat GPT, a large language model, where they could go get records and contracts. And it has to be private, and so nobody can get in there. But anything you're going to ever want, grades, teacher contracts, photos, plans, anything. And then you just like, okay, and then you ask it a question, and bang, it spits it out for you. I mean,
past, present, and future of your company.
It's going to be big.
Can all be built in an AI brain, and it's the future. It
is.
is, and it's going to be crazy to see where it goes, good or bad, in the next 20 years. It's a very important tool when utilized correctly, and there's training out there now to teach people how to use the model correctly. And I don't know, man. There's just so much.
So many things. So many things. Like, just think in an athletic department, you had a director of AI. Just think about all the things you could be streamlining and making easier for people to do. And you would just be the guy people came to. They would say, hey, what if we did this? You're like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Or now it would take a lot of work. Like if you were going to upload, I was just thinking about this, like if you're uploading every photo, every video, every game note, every roster, every marketing plan, every script, every whatever to this AI large language model, that's a pretty intense process. But there's going to be people out there doing it. That's what people are going to get paid to do.
Having an expert to what I would call like train the brain is going to be a very in need and popular skill set coming down the road. And it's going to be something you're going to start seeing, probably already is. I'm not in touch with what's going on in college classes right now or degrees on these types of things. But all this, I mean, people are going to be trained the same way they were trained to build websites and do coding and all that. The same thing's going to happen building AI brains. And to me right now, like if I'm investing as an athletic department in certain new positions, that's a position I'm looking at immediately, just across the board. And again, it's not just, hey, write my press release, those types of things.
Right.
It's a tool that when used properly, you can train it to understand the pulse and the lifeblood and the history and everything about your program and department all in one brain. And you think of the workflows that are going on day in and day out. I mean, earlier you said corporate sponsorships or partnerships and working in that department. I'm sure there are corporate sponsorship departments already using AI.
Oh, yeah.
But are they using it to the best of its ability? And so that's the stuff that fascinates me, like just the data and the input. Using, for example, like for me, my marketing and my comms expertise and all of those things aligned with this brain that I look at as like it's an assistant, like it's someone that's sitting next to me, that we're working together on this. And it's understanding everything I think and feel based off of what I'm feeding it every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
So
it's big. It's a promising area of work in the next 5 to 10 years. And it, like you said, it's going to be popping up everywhere. I'm surprised. I'm sure places have it. I mean, I know I have friends in the neighborhood. They work for large corporations, and they're like, we're building a large language model right now as we speak. It's big, and I think everybody's going to do it because no one wants to share it. Like, you don't want to share stuff with ChatGPT. You want it inside your walls. And so everybody's going to do it. And the ones that don't do it, they're done. Like, if you don't jump on this train right now, you're going to get left behind.
I'm thinking of like the old website providers for college sports teams. It'd be like CSTV and well, I guess Sidearm might still be around. These companies that basically then we're pitching to hundreds of colleges like, hey, you need a website? We'll take care of that for you.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be companies that build these brains and branch off and try to, I don't want to say take advantage of schools, but schools that don't want to invest the right amount of money to operate it with somebody on staff. Like I could see that happening the same way it happens with websites.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
it's going to be, I'm just fascinated by with where all of this is going to go. Again, it is the future. This isn't like, every couple of years something pops up like VR, AR, Google Glass or whatever, these types of things. But
Meta.
Every 15, 20, 25 years ago, there comes something revolutionary comes across. You think about the mobile phone, or you think about websites or
TV.
Yeah,
in the 50s,
TV being created.
40s, 50s.
AI is the next thing.
It is.
And the facts are there to prove it. And so I think for teams, they need to be thinking this needs to be on their radar right now. Like, okay, what are we doing to continue to grow with this? And, are we creating jobs or positions? And this should be on the tongue of every sports department right now from the top down. We're not just talking about the comms guys talking to each other like, hey, are you using ChatGPT right now?
Writing a soccer recap or something.
Yeah. That stuff's already being done. We're talking about from the top of the department down, like, okay, what are we going to do across the board? So we'll see. It's going to happen.
So good. That's awesome.
All right, last round.
Okay. All right, so now I'm dipping into the fun bucket.
Oh, fun, Boggsy.
This is kind of out there a little bit, but if you want to have fun for a very short amount of time, this is a position I think College Boggsy would absolutely go nuts in. This one's about fun and traveling, but we had a few players who won an NBA title, and they let that player take that Larry O'Brien trophy, or Larry for short, around to wherever they want. And a few of them came back to campus with Larry to show him off. And there was always someone with Larry. That's who I'd encourage young Boggs to be for a few years. You're just the person who takes a trophy around, whether it's Larry, the Stanley Cup, whatever the trophy. You watch over it, you take care of it, you watch people celebrate with it all over the world. It'd be super fun. Not a lot of tangible skills you'd get from it, but you'd meet a ton of people. So College Boggsy would be traveling the world with the Larry O'Brien trophy. I don't know how you get it.
Great gig.
But I would get it. I mean, literally, dude, there was a guy who carried that thing. He had gloves on.
Oh, yeah.
He would carry that thing around with one of our players.
I was enamored by the trophy person walking around. And, the job description for that is probably just a couple of things. Like, 1, tell people they can not touch the trophy.
Correct.
2, tell people, if I'm going to let you touch a trophy, you got to put these gloves on.
Yeah.
3, don't drop the trophy.
Yeah, those are your 3.
I mean, that's easy. And then just parade it around and everybody fawns over it and wants to take pictures of it.
Or, drink out of it. It's got a Stanley Cup or the World Cup or whatever. I mean, all those dudes with the World Cup, with Argentina, Messi's carrying that thing around for a week. So you're hanging around Messi and you're the World Cup guy. You're watching the cup.
How's your shine?
Take a couple sips out of it with Messi.
How's your shining and polishing? Are you good at that?
It would get good, and it would get good fast. I would be an excellent trophy carrier, dude. That's a great, we should make a TV show about a trophy carrier.
There you go. Netflix.
How great would that be? You just put a GoPro on this kid or woman or guy or whoever, and just send them around the world.
Dude, this is the perfect character. This is the perfect character because you're thinking of like a 6 to 8 episode Netflix that's like, hey, this sports team just won the title. Now you're seeing this guy or gal travel the world to show off the trophy with athletes. And each episode is just a different journey with a different athlete. So you're seeing like wild parties and you're going all across the country or world. Like, hey, I'm in. I'm going to start writing this.
Let's do it.
ChatGPT.
That's right.
Are you up right now?
Writing it.
Very good.
I can't remember this guy's name, But I mean, like, you're emailing them all week. You're like, hey, where's Larry going to be? When are you going to be here? What do we need? What do you need for Larry? Like, I was emailing him all the time. And he just showed up with Larry. He and Fess. Fess showed up. There's Larry.
Incredible
It was
gig.
incredible. It's a great experience.
You'd get to look at your reflection all day.
So, yeah, I want to be that guy. College Boggs, go be the guy that carries the trophy around the world.
Oh, man.
How can you follow that up?
That's the job you were meant to do that job.
I know, right?
You were meant to do that job. And you
I'm
know
still
what?
available, NBA or World Cup. World Cup's coming through here in next year. I'm here.
You could just be the guy across sports that does it for all trophies.
Oh, I'd have a business card, like carrier of the trophies or something. That would just be my tagline.
That's the best one. I'm not going to be able to top it.
Well, let's try. Let's see. I think you're going to probably do pretty well with it.
I don't know. I'm feeling some regret with this last one. And, I could have went a lot of different options. Back in the day, I was the unofficial mascot of a college baseball team.
You were.
As an open-faced dancing hot dog mascot.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, would I want to be the official mascot of a pro team? Rappelling out of the buildings. That would be awesome. But I'd love to be a team photographer. But I started thinking and I said, we've been harsh. I mean, I've been harsh on this position because it's what I always dreamed to be. And I was never good enough to be an athletic director.
Do you want to be an athlete? You want to tell College Barca to be an athletic director?
And I'm still bitter about it to this day. And maybe that's...
my gosh.
Maybe it's that...
I would be railing on you, dude.
Maybe it's why...
Guy, what is he doing over there?
I've done some real soul searching. I've been sitting on the couch for the last 2 years, just doing a lot of sitting on the couch. And I feel like that's always where my heart was. And I've just been disgruntled and upset at ADs just because I was never good enough to be one.
Well, I think you'd be a good one. And I would like to rail against you too. That would be really fun.
Let's be serious for a second. It's like the movie There's Something About Mary. I'm effing with you, Ted. No way in hell am I going to be an AD. One, I'm not qualified for. Two, I have no interest in it. Yeah. But how about this? I still want to drink the Kool-Aid. I want to be the executive assistant to the CEO or the AD or the team president.
You do?
Yeah. You're going to be in all the big meetings. Yeah. You're going to be meeting the right people. Think about the food. Ooh, think about just sitting up in the boxes during the game and just managing somebody's schedule and making sure they have everything they need to meet and greet people. And I don't know, sounds kind of fun, right? Sounds like a pretty cool lifestyle, yet you don't have to be that top person in charge. I'm very detailed, task-oriented. I like the idea of booking schedules and offering as much help as I can to help that person day in and day out. And I think about it too. I'm like, man, if you do that for a couple of years, again, it will be a grind, but think of all the people you're going to meet. Hobnobbing around.
Be a lot of hobnobbing. Highfalutin.
Can you see me as that, Boggs? What do you think?
To be honest, I can't.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Now, I think you'd be good at it. It's just there's not enough creative outlets. How would you be creative with this position? I mean, you'd have to stick to a strict schedule. I mean, I guess you could be creative with the food that you brought in for your AD, or for your CEO.
See, you know me a lot as the creative muscle and the craziness, that side of my brain. But there's another side of my brain where I am just so detail-oriented and process-oriented, whether it's spreadsheets or planning out a campaign for a season or this. I think actually I would have a lot to offer to someone in this position, especially, if I'm looking at it now with like a marketing and comms perspective, someone that understands the day-to-day of what happens in athletics or for the sports teams and knows how to deal with comms crisis or marketing pushes or, working with the media and all those things. But on top of it, doing scheduling and those things, like there's probably a lot of pressure because you're probably like, hey, is this flight? You're probably getting texts throughout the day and night. Hey, is this flight booked?
Yeah.
Hey, can you move this meeting? hey, do you have everything prepped for my meeting? Do we have drinks and food? You're doing a lot of really grunt work, but sometimes I just like that. I just like organization. I
Yeah.
like not having to flex the creative muscle in my brain, always feeling like I have to have the idea. Sometimes I just want to do the work, do it at a high level, and exceed expectations for, a boss that I'm working for. And then at the same time, I'm probably meeting a lot of rich, well-connected people that can selfishly possibly help me down the
Get
road
a
and
job. Yep.
yeah, do something after a couple of years and I'll be like, man, I'm going to be set up now to do something else. I don't
You
know.
get all
That's
the juicy deets too, like when coaches are going to get fired, or
oh, for sure.
like
Love being on the inside.
yeah, you would be on the inside.
You build
And
that trust.
I think those positions get paid pretty good too.
If you're talking about
If you're
a
like
CEO or president,
yes.
yeah, like a president of an NBA team or CEO, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would
The
love
good
that.
one. Yeah.
I would love dealing with the day in and day out of all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that would be a really, really good one.
Time to wrap it up.
And that's another edition of No Longer Credentialed. Thanks to all of you listening, and if you like it, tell a friend and give it a 5-star rating on your podcast app of choice. Don't forget to check us out on social media at NLC Pod on X, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Until next week, keep grinding.
I really hope you're polishing trophies in your future. And if you're not, I was polishing drains, like I said, back in locker rooms in the rec center. And so I could give you tips on that as well. If you're just really into polishing items and those types of things, like there are other opportunities out there.
Maybe I'll just talk to my son about some aspirations of his, like career aspirations. He could just carry a trophy around for a couple of years. That'd be fun.
You could be the mascot escort. All mascots have an escort. It's mostly to keep in case they get bombarded by fans or little kids are like kicking them in the nuts.
Yeah.
I've experienced some of that. It's not as glamorous as being the handler of
Larry.
Larry and the NBA trophy or Stanley Cup or any of those things, but you get to escort the mascot around everywhere.
That doesn't appeal to me as much as the trophy does. Can't drink out of a mascot costume. I guess you could.
You can drink inside it. Nobody will know.
That's true.